Hi, I'm Steve Van Ryzin with Zeeland Nursery, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the process of actually candling your pines. And candling is one of the techniques that I use all the time, and I try to help people understand how simple it can be to maintain your landscape plants, and pines especially, in your garden with very little effort. And candling is one of those things, and if Robin, you can kind of take a look at all of the different types of evergreens and pines that we have, but as you see, it's right around Mother's Day right now, and pines produce this new growth that you can see is going to be, it elevates and sticks up, and it doesn't have any needles on it yet. Some of these are a little bit further along than others, but some of them, and you can see some are longer than others, so that actually tells you whether the plant is going to be a fast growing or larger plant. This is actually a dwarf Mops Mugo pine, where you can actually see how small and short the new candle growth is, which tells you this plant is a great dwarfer in your garden. It's only going to grow maybe 2 to 3 inches of growth a year, which is very easy to place in your garden. So you would look at that and say, well, how big will it get? Well, let's say 2 to 3 inches a year. It's going to take about 4 years to add an additional foot of size. So that's one way that you can kind of judge the plant, is how fast or how long the new growth is on these plants. So some of these things, we've got this Bergmani pine, which is it's a Japanese white pine. We have another pine in the back called Aoi, which that's something that is another Japanese white pine. We've got some limber pines, which is called extra blue. And that's one of those plants that, again, if you look at just the different colors here, I mean, all of these things can offer just year-round color. So you have winter color, and then you have spring color, like this new spruce that we have got in. It's called Candlelight. It's just such a bright new growth. It's so fun to be here. And you can kind of see we have another spruce over off to the side, which is called Firefly. So boy, does that really pop in your garden. Now, one of the pines that we have here, and this is a great one that I'm going to start to do the candling on, just to kind of show you how simple it is. This is a ground cover pine. It's a type of Scotch pine called Albans prostrata. It's something that, it's our vision and things that I look to have this plant kind of just slowly cover the top of this wall. It's a beautiful green. It's something that we enjoy very much, but now it's been here about 4 or 5 seasons. You can actually see where this was last season's growth, where the candle had come up like this one is, and then the needles expand from that. So if I had done any candling last year, it would have only be as long as it would be if I were to have removed whatever amount of candling I wanted to do. So the type of or the length that you choose is how much you want to remove and how slow you want to make the plant in its growth, or how much you want to reduce the plant's growth. So anyway, candling is just as simple as using your fingers. If you get it during this time, it's something that you can just kind of pluck them. And usually what you're going to do is you'll reduce it maybe by 50%. You can see that these are going to be maybe about 8 or 9 inches of growth. I'm going to just go around the plant, and then we're going to just candle this, and we're going to end up kind of reducing its growth rate. As you can see, it's super simple. The sooner that you get this task done, the better. Once the needles start to expand, then they become a little bit tougher. You might have to use a pruners to do it, but sometimes if you time it right, you can just get through this plant. And I think I'll take my time on this one, but I think as an example, this is a great one for you guys to understand and hear and see. This is something that typically I'm going to end up, when I finish with this, I'll have a little bit of pine sap on my fingers that, you know, a little bit of Goo Gone or something will remove that. But I usually like doing it without any gloves on, because then you really get the sense where the plants are in your fingertips, where it's hard to do it with gloves on, but you can see how quickly you can do this and how simple it really is. So hopefully that kind of shares that information with you, that it makes it easier for you guys to maintain your pines. And again, we have just such a wide selection of pines here to choose from. We have large ones, we have upright Mugo pines. This one's called Tannenbaum. Again, just the selection of pines that you can choose from, tall ones, small ones, ground covering ones, is just so fun. And the color is fantastic. Hopefully we get to see you in the nursery, and if we get a chance to talk, that would be great. But otherwise, walk around our display gardens, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask anyone that's here. So thanks for listening.